Most awesome person today who we're going to get into deep dive the secrets of the universe with my man Markis Abraham. I will tell you all about him in a second. Stay tuned.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. America will continue the dream.
Okay, who is Markis Abraham Esquire? He's an attorney, which makes him much smarter than me right out of the gate, right? I met Markis at our event, Procurement Con, and at that point, I knew I wanted to talk with this man on the regular. He wears many hats, actually. He is the director, is that the right title?
Yes. Of
the Hudson County Office of Business Opportunity.
Yes.
That's the title. You're also an attorney.
Yes.
And you have a real estate attorney, your real estate?
Yep, that's one of my practice areas. Absolutely.
Absolutely, practice areas. Okay. So give me a little bit of background because you know, that is something, let's be real here, like attorneys get into the business of being an attorney, the law, there's a passion behind whatever they're working on. But you ended up also from being an attorney, now you're in this helping the business community.
Yeah.
You know, so tell me, like, where do we make that? Tell us a little bit about you, and then where do we make that leap?
Yeah, so that's a good juxtaposition, if you will. Not that they are opposite each other's, those roles, but certainly tells you a little bit about my journey. So I'm a New Jersey guy, raised here in New Jersey, Jersey City. I call my home, and played sports coming up in high school. Also, you know, had a passion for community service as well.
Okay.
So in high school, we started the Multicultural Club, and I was also president of the student council. So started out very soon, very early, I should say, looking to do service for the people around me in my community.
Okay.
So I'm kind of built that way. Went on to undergrad and came out and started working. And you're talking about working like seriously, long hours, intense work. I worked initially at a consulting firm.
Okay.
And then I became the chief financial officer of a nonprofit in Jersey City at 23 years old.
So you're running parallel, basically. You're like doing the law work, right? Or
no, not yet.
Not yet.
When I first went to school, I went to undergrad, and instead of immediately enrolling in law school, I worked for 4 years.
Oh.
So out of undergrad, I worked at a consulting firm first in New York City and got an opportunity. The executive director called me and asked me if I wanted to come interview for its chief financial officer position. Nice. So that was a great exposure and leadership at a very young age, a fairly substantial nonprofit. And then I went to law school.
Okay.
So my idea going to law school was I was going to become a sports agent. That's what I wanted to do. And lo and behold, one of the people that I was, sort of friends with, he was a mentor. He was an attorney in New Jersey and also happened to play in an NFL.
Okay.
And so we started having those conversations, and we started to try to figure out if there was something he could support me with. And ultimately, I ended up working for a firm doing just regular law work, bankruptcy, litigation, all this stuff that I was trained on and working hard every day. I got a little anxious and really wanted to see it and pursue it, that being the sports agency. And I decided, okay, I'm going to go out on my own. And I did. And I left the firm and went out on my own.
Entrepreneurial
drive. But also a lot of naivete with that, because being on your own is not for the faint of heart. I was very lucky, though, because the firm that I work with, I work with the main partner. Maybe a little bit as his whipping boy, but learned so much and being in a very intense practice, in a very reputable practice, that being on my own, I was able to
You had a little bit of an advantage, but you sacrificed for that advantage.
100%,
right.
Definitely. And so that's where I was for the next 10 years. On my own.
And doing sports?
I did that for about 2 years.
Oh, okay.
I ran out of money, and my wife was kind of like, come on now, we got to get going. And I realized, I have another skill set that I can do well for myself and my family as well. So I came back. I did mostly litigation and did a ton of real estate work, a lot of transactional stuff. And quite frankly, I got, I'm very inquisitive by nature, and I was, working with a marketing company to try to figure out, how to advertise myself. And they said, there's not a lot of people around your area advertising business law and IP. And that was already in my wheelhouse. I'm an accountant, by trade. I do all sorts of business transactions and law. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start honing in on that area. And that's why I became so big in real estate and business transactions.
Okay.
And you can't imagine the types of clients. I would have people come to my office from Manhattan, like, hey, we're looking for an IP attorney. And, we can't find one that's less than $800 an hour, that knows the work. And so, through that combination of things, just sort of being on my own and having to make it happen, but also getting some information by just being inquisitive and looking around, I was able to hone in on a practice that's really served me since then.
So then how do we get to serving the small businesses in a county, right? It's a county office. In a county office. How do we make that jump?
Yeah. So quite frankly, we did really well working at the firm. It was family-based. I had a couple family members working there, some other staff. And I got a little burnt out on two things. One, my family was growing. And I also realized I was sort of disconnected from the community. I was like, I was a litigator. I was a lawyer. I was doing that day.
And you had roots in the community.
And I had roots in the beginning, from the beginning.
Growing in the,
Right. Okay. And so I was looking for an opportunity to sort of scale back a little bit, really be more responsive to my family. Like I said, I have a big family. We have 6 boys. And also find ways to give back to the community. It's a real tightrope to walk, right?
Yeah.
Especially if, you're going to take care of your family and continue to do those things, provide a similar lifestyle. So, we figured out, we talked, and through some relationships, I was able to land here in the Office of Business Opportunity. I think that it was really serendipitous. It came right before the pandemic is when I started working, literally a week before March 13th.
Oh, damn.
2000. And I had a particular role in that office whereby I could engage a lot with the business community. And that's where the passion just kicked in.
Okay.
Maybe a year and a half later, we're kind of easing out of the pandemic. I had a little bit more feet under me as far as what I wanted to do with that role. My director took another opportunity and left the office. And so, the powers that be, talked to me about whether I want to step into the opportunity as the director of the office. And it made perfect sense.
Made perfect sense, yeah.
That's where you find me at today.
Yeah, that's where we find you today. I mean, I know you're the award recipient. You're the model for the Procurement Con Beyond Borders Award. And, we gave you that this year. And I have your plate, by the way. They finally came in. They finally came in. I forgot it today.
I still have my award. Don't definitely. So I need that plate.
Yeah, you'll get it. I promise. But, it was important because here you are. And I feel this is really important to say is like, you're a Hudson County employee working in this position, a director. But meanwhile, I will find you supporting small businesses in Camden, in Atlantic City. And that's how we ended up creating this award, the Beyond Borders, because you had a place, but you were doing things way outside of this space that was, here's my job. And we know there's a lot of people in these resource divisions who operate in their bubble, and that's where they stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But you are, and so tell me how does that, how are you doing? Like, why? Give me the why.
Well, the why one is that it's extremely important to me every day on the wake up, Eric, that I'm an example to my sons.
Okay.
And so what I do is my best at what I'm doing. I don't try to shortchange people with my effort and the skill level I bring to something I'm doing, especially because it's going to have Markis Abraham's name on it. So I want it to be really, really high level. What I noticed about the work that could be done and that's how I was thinking about it, not harping too much on what was being done, but what could be done was that there was an expanse out there that was larger than my big head, right? There was a lot of work that could be done.
Yeah.
And I said, let me be that guy who asks for forgiveness rather than permission.
That's it.
Because if we do that, it's just a human nature knee jerk to say, well, this is how we did it, so do it that way. I didn't want to fall into that. So in a sense, I did what I normally don't do and sort of waited for the feedback on the back end. So I just got out there and went where the stuff was happening for the work we needed to do. We know how much resources the small and diverse business community needs. And we could do a better job bringing it there if we just stop being constrained by what has happened in the past.
So I'm going to say this, and you don't have to agree with me.
Sure.
Because you sit in the county. But the reality is that we all know counties are in competition, right? They're all in they maybe don't want to say, we're all kumbaya and friends, but we know it's about how much, but you don't see those lines. Like this is what's really, I find amazing about you and what you do is you don't see the line. Like you're here, you're there. And like when I think about you, I picture the state of New Jersey and no borders inside that New Jersey, and somewhere in Jersey, there you are. So how does that though impact you back in Hudson County? Like, do you get phone calls or do you get people inquiring because they maybe not have something similar in their county? And then if you get those calls from people outside the county, how do you direct them? How do you guide them?
Yes, we get calls from people, business owners outside the county. We get calls from municipal officials in other counties.
Yeah.
Everybody needs help, and we're willing to help. We look at our mission as if we raise up the stock of all small and diverse businesses in this state, it will help Hudson County.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's very simple. We can focus, and we know that it's true. We can focus on local, and local is important. Local is very important. But we also know that we don't only purchase locally. We purchase throughout the state, and sometimes we purchase nationally.
Right.
And so I don't yet have a budget to run around the country, but I have enough gas in my car to get around New Jersey, right? And in doing that, some of the most successful people with our county are businesses I've met outside the county.
Oh, okay.
Right? What we know by numbers, not dissing our business owners or our residents. We are a smaller county. So Bergen County, Essex County are larger. They have more businesses. Mm-hmm. They have more businesses in the higher ticket items. So those are facts. And I like to deal with those and do as best we can locally, but also understand that helping small and diverse businesses across the state helps Hudson County 10 times out of 10.
All right. And I'm going to say this, and, look, if I offend anybody in Hudson County, oh, well. But I don't think that office would be as successful because I've been watching, right? Since I met you, I've seen what you do. I don't think it would be as successful without you at the helm. And you have your team. You have Stanley and you have Erica. We adore them. And I think, you're this really great team over there. And so I want to know, is there, because there's counties in every state that should have something like this,
yep.
Let alone New Jersey. What's the secret? Are you willing to share the secrets? Are you willing to guide people in Tennessee? Can these people say, what's your secret? Give us a secret. And can you give us this model?
Yes, I will. If it's a secret, I'll let it be known right now. Work on the people internally. Talk to the people that are within the county that are going to work with you to make the decisions and the policy and protocol happen. Because as soon as you take a stance that it's you against them, you're not going to get anything done. And it's difficult. Right. It's not easy. It's the same thing I do with other people, with other colleagues in other counties and the like. Yes, some behind closed doors, maybe they say, well, Markis down here in Middlesex, he should stay up in Hudson County or whatever. But also, I know that there's areas of collaboration where we can help, and I try to focus on that. Because our office has 6 people in it. Most offices like mine around the state have 1 or 2 people in it. And so from that perspective, what I offer to them is I can help you. I have the staff, I have the wherewithal to help you, whether it be set policies and protocols, whether it be host events, because you don't have the budget to pay for the food for this type of event. Maybe we have a budget, we can I offer collaboration in all respects. You want to get a load of our ideas, how we put together our internal process to do set-asides, and no one else seems to understand how to do them? I will give that to you. I'm not trying to hold that as a secret because, again, if you start doing it, then the next county is going to start doing it regularly. Mm-hmm. And now we all have a pool open for small and diverse businesses. The internal work that I've done at Hudson County causes me sometime to have to sit back and take 30 minutes and say, and
this
not
episode
be
has been
pissed
underwritten
off
by
and all that
Outcome
stuff.
Engine.
But that's
what sets
the
Outcome
way
Engine
you do it.
apart
You have
from
to
other
get the
companies
buy-in
is
of
they
the
put
decision
people
makers
and
to
creativity
say,
at the
this
forefront
is a
of
chart,
everything they
this is
do.
a course
Their
that's
holistic
important to
approach
us,
is about
and we're
more
going to
than
work
just
together
technology.
to chart this course.
They
Right.
create strategies
Right,
that
that's
include
awesome.
the best tech,
And I mean, listen,
the
for
smartest
anybody
planning,
who
and the
watches this,
brightest
whether
minds to
you're
help
in,
your business
we're going to
flourish.
extend. If
Outcome
anybody's who's
Engine
watching
believes
this,
technology serves
it doesn't matter
humanity.
if you're in New Jersey, if you're
Collaboration
in
is
New
their
York, and like I
cornerstone.
said, you could be
And
Tennessee,
every day is an
Alabama, Georgia,
opportunity
wherever
to
you
do
are.
work that matters
Look up
with
what's the
people who
website.
truly matter. Outcome Engine does more than help your business grow.
But also
They
the
turn
best
your
way to
business
get to
into
our
a growth
website,
engine.
what all
For
full
more information,
capabilities
visit their
is
website,
hcnj.us, and you
outcomeengine.io.
can look for the Office of Business Opportunities page.
Check it out because, I mean, wherever you are, if you're sitting in the county and you're trying to figure out, like, maybe you have a business development office and it's not exactly doing what you want it to do or it's not achieving the goals, you want to get in touch with this man and have that conversation because, you know, we have to take this top-down, bottom-up approach. We have to top-down agencies, government, everybody has to be working to get down to the small groups, and the small groups got to take action. Mm-hmm. The people on the ground got to take action and work up so that we can get to the middle. And if you're having trouble, this is a gentleman you want to talk to, because I see this organization, your office is very successful. And like you said, you have 6 people for one of the smaller counties in the state, in our state here. And, you know, we have bigger counties with less people. So that says something, you know, about the level of work you're doing and the amount of work you're doing.
We got the commitment from the county executive in 2016. The set-aside ordinance became effective in January 2017. And the county executive has changed since then. But the support has been consistent. And so with that, though, comes the practical issues that you have to work out in trying to do this work. And, you know, you're going to start with trying to galvanize the leadership, the will of the leadership wherever you are. And we can talk about the details after that.
Yeah. So I think it's again, it's a fantastic model. And you definitely have blown up as far as I'm concerned. And even if somebody says you haven't, they can come see me. I'll argue with them all day. There's something else you do there, which has been very successful.
Yes.
BidFest.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you know where we have our big procurement event every year.
Awesome.
And
event.
I'm absolutely looking to steal your model.
Mm-hmm.
I'm transparent about my thievery.
Yeah. The only thing you can't steal is the name, but you can steal a model.
That's right.
Everybody has good ideas.
Yeah. We love it. We'd actually like you to helm it.
Absolutely.
But this is something that the iterations I've followed up and listened, and you've been very successful. Results have been very successful.
Yes.
And it's been a process where, and you will correct me if I'm wrong, you're walking the small businesses who are contract ready, I imagine.
Correct.
Right? They have to be contract ready.
Yes.
So they have to go through that initial process of everything they need to do to become a viable candidate to make a bid. So you're taking contract ready businesses, and then what you're doing is you're walking them through the process to make the actual real bid.
Correct.
Okay. I don't know that anybody's doing it. I mean, I don't check every county in every state.
That's fair.
But I don't know anybody in New Jersey that's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about that a minute.
It's a great opportunity for small businesses to get out of their own way with this bidding stuff.
Yeah.
Because we talk a lot about the opportunities that'll be available to small and diverse businesses, especially coming on the heels of certain disparity studies and the like. But what we know from being on the ground is there's a lot of anxiety about submitting a bid.
There is. There really is.
And so taking that small piece of information and then putting it into play, we have a business, when I say we have a separate private consulting business. It's called Epic Business Solutions. right? And we created this model through Epic, right? And so because we work in Hudson County, which is totally fine, they have a license to it for free, the name and all that. But the model is what it is. And that's why I say, if you take it and steal it, God bless you, because you execute well. So I'm happy about that. But what we're really concerned about is making sure that the business owners get the information they need, not only to become contract ready. That's essentially day one. It's a 2-day, full day, 8 hours seminar where you learn all the things about bidding and start positioning your business to get contract ready. If you're not, we space them about a week apart because you can take care of that stuff in the meantime, whether it be insurance, whether it be getting certified, and those types of things. The second day, we take you through a bid, soup to nuts, to the point where you actually have to submit it, to the point where we know a lot of entities are electronic, but we actually make you do the harder one, the physical submission, and you have to turn it in by a particular time of the day.
Right.
We actually, within our own seminar, have rejected a lot of proposals because they were not on time.
They weren't on time.
And that's the real life of it. And because of that, we literally, and we can show evidence, get emails, get all sorts of screenshots. Hey, I left BidFest, I bid, I won a contract.
Nice.
And that's what it's about. And you're right, Eric, it's not being done. We're in talks with a lot of people to do it more regularly. And we like that because that means that we're galvanizing the small business community. They've spoken to us, they said what they need, and we've responded.
That's awesome. So with that too, I want to make a point here to bring this up because I also think there's a misunderstanding or maybe they just don't have the resources to really define it. There's a very big difference between bidding on a state contract and a federal contract.
Sure, 100%.
Right? And a lot of people don't understand that, I think. And, do you help people learn that this is a different model? Like if you're going to bid on NASA or DOD, this is a different thing. Like you help them along in that.
That's one of the first things we address. We talk about the different levels of bidding and the different levels of government that you have to deal with. So we take you from local to county to agency to state to federal. And we speak about each of those different branches with some information about what makes them different. Now, if you go to NAWCAD versus a regular GSA scheduled contract, there's going to be differences there too, right? We don't necessarily get into that fine powder, but we give you enough because we want you to make a decision. And that decision is a critical one. Which group are you going to attack first? Because they're different, and strategically you should try to work with one and then expand out your process so that it's repeatable for the other ones when you figure out all the nuances related to it.
Right. I think there's people out there that are like, oh, I have a great idea. I have these plastic cases that are great. So I'm just going to go sell to the DOD. And it's not that easy.
Doesn't work like that. Yeah. Not at all. Not at all. And that's a great point. And that's the type of information that we do teach at the BidFest to try to understand what is the entry. One of the things we did too this year, we added a different business planning seminar. And that seminar is to say, if you are doing something, let's now take that something and tailor it to how the government buys.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I like that.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, that's important.
100%.
I've heard that before and that's almost, it's a know your customer, right?
Yep.
Know your audience, know your customer. Do the research on that. And there's a lot of people who already say, do the research on who you're selling to, know what they're buying, know how they're buying. And that is important. I think that's a basic general rule, but I think it's really magnified.
It's magnified in the government. I agree with that analysis. Yep.
Well, with that said, I'm going to wrap this with my one major question is give our small business community that one piece of advice that we all know they don't follow, but they really need to follow.
Yes. I said it yesterday, and this is the one that's top of mind for me. There's so much stuff, but this one is top of mind for me. If you don't stick with it, meaning keep your books and records up to date, keep all your certifications up to date, keep all your licenses up to date and not expire, make sure your insurances are in place, make sure your business is running well every day, you will get a contract because it's just numbers. Everyone else is going to get lazy, is going to get frustrated, and is going to leave. And we don't care about those people. We only care about the people who are going to stay with it. If you stay with it, you will become successful in government contracting.
I appreciate that. Folks, you definitely will make sure that you should at this point have seen the website a dozen times on the bottom of the screen. It's down in the description below. Markis can be reached at that office. Do not let the label Hudson County deter you from reaching out. I don't care where in the country you are. I don't care if you're a public official or a small business or a large business. If you really want to level your game up, if you want good advice, if you want some guidance, Markis makes himself available. He's got a great team, Stanley Bridgeforth and Erica Bell.
Absolutely.
Who, by the way, did you get my email?
No, which one?
We nominated Erica Bell for Woman Empowered.
You know what's so funny? They were telling me, did you see Eric's email? I said, yeah, because I kind of always check everything, but that's awesome. That's what they were laughing at. That's good.
Yeah.
She deserves it.
We nominated her this year with 2 others, so we're excited. She didn't
Awesome.
respond back. Make her respond.
I got it.
But folks, check them out. They are an amazing team. Again, wherever you are in the country, visit them at the website. And I thank you so much for being with us today.
It's been a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Really
we have great
appreciate
things to keep doing.
Absolutely.
And you folks, go out there and make something amazing happen and do not give up. We are out.